What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bird. You know, we back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing. Smash the like button, smash subscribe button. Hop in the comment section, comment whatever you want. Of course, I'm dropping daily bangers day by day. You know, we got news of the day coming out of Colorado. And we're going to jump right into it, dog. So, of course, we back. Another recap with this Colorado football program. As always, shout out Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, the pregame show for providing us phenomenal footage each and every day. As we all know, we're coming off a huge recruiting weekend this past weekend where we saw blue chippers across the board. I mean, we had some of the best players in the country in Boulder, Colorado this past weekend. Obviously, we had, 8 guys, 8 blue chippers, right? 1 5-star, 7 4-star guys coming to town. Of course, these young men had a great time. A lot of them have been posting their recruiting pictures and, they mentioned about their time and how they enjoyed their visit. And of course, we can kind of jump right into that here. Let's start with Jake Crew. As we all know, the edge rusher coming out of IMG, one of the best edge rushers in the country. Of course, he mentioned it was a great environment in Colorado. He said he think what's been so appealing to him is the IMG to Boulder pipeline and seeing all the IMG kids and seeing how successful they've been within our program. Now, of course, we're going to have to battle it out with schools like Florida, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Texas, right? He's heavily coveted. So, of course, we're going to have to battle with those particular schools there. But we're in a good spot, right? And we have that IMG to Boulder pipeline. He also mentioned that we had a lot of great energy in the building. He said everybody that he met was super nice. He said that he sees our D-line being very productive this year with a coaching staff that is full of NFL experience. As you all know, we have a ton of NFL experience across the board with this Colorado football program, and that's going to stand out to a lot of young men and their families as well. Let's see what happens there with Jake. Let's keep it rolling, dog. Of course, Jace Matthews, right, was, he's one of the best wide receivers in the country. We've talked about him multiple times as well, to his catchability, his tough catchability. I mean, just to make acrobatic catches. He's a damn good wide receiver, dog, one of the best in the country. Of course, he said, what can you say besides pleasant, referring to the people and the town of Boulder? He said it was phenomenal. He said before going into what stands out about the opportunity, he said being a school that gets their wideouts the ball and sends them to the league definitely stood out. He said after getting to Boulder for the first time, it's definitely on par with a few of the schools on his list. So it looks like we made a good impression with Jace Matthews as well, too. Of course, it's going to be a battle with these young men, right? I mean, these are all blue chippers. So everyone in the nation wants these guys, right? So we're going to have to compete. Obviously, these guys are going to have more official visits, along the way as well, too. So it's going to be a battle. We're not expecting any of these guys to commit right away, right? These guys are going to enjoy their process as they should. They deserve it. They're blue chippers. But we're making some good impressions here. Let's keep it rolling, dog. Obviously, right, man, we had 2 homegrown offensive linemen, man, from the state of Colorado came back for their official visit. Of course, Deacon Schmidt, right, the #1 recruit, 4-star offensive lineman, is a huge priority for us. Of course, he said the environment is always a blast. He said, growing up in Colorado, I've been around Boulder a lot. The opportunity to become a hometown hero is very special to him. He said he loves CU in general. He said everyone there is awesome and they're working on something very special. He said he loved all of the offensive line coaches as well. He said we're definitely a great school and that he has a lot of love for us. Not surprised he has that much love for us, right? He's from the state of Colorado, and I know him being able to see the program grow and develop is very intriguing, right, to someone who's from the area. And hopefully we can do what we need to do to keep that guy home, right? I mean, those type of young men, they gotta stay home, dog. Like, we gotta find a way to keep those guys in the state of Colorado. Gotta put up a fence, man, around these type of young men. Same thing with IMG Academy 4-star offensive lineman Brett Kolajay, right? He's from Colorado as well. He said it was a fantastic visit. He said the environment in Boulder was amazing. The energy, the charisma they had in Boulder was fantastic. He said his favorite thing about the program is how much love Coach Prime has for his players and how they utilize 3 offensive line coaches that have a ton of experience, not only in the NFL, but coaching too. These 2 young men, dog, I mean, we got to do everything we can, right, to keep them at home. If you could find a way to land these 2 young men, 2 of the best offensive linemen in the country, Deacon Schmidt can play anywhere on the offensive line, it seems, right? At least both guards and both tackle positions, right? I mean, and it looks like Brett Kolajay is more of an interior offensive lineman. But of course, 260 Academy guys, 2 guys from the state of Colorado, 2 guys that will be important pieces moving forward for the continued development of this program. It will be huge to be able to land these 2 young men. Let's track the progress. Obviously, we're going to have to compete, right, with some of the best schools in the nation for them as well, too. Well, I like where we stand there. Of course, Gavin Mueller, the tight end, right? We mentioned Gavin Mueller a lot on this channel as well, too. It looks like he enjoyed his visit as well. Of course, still waiting to hear more about the visit from him as far as, more communication exactly coming from him. And once I get that, I'll let you guys know. But everything that I'm seeing on the outside looking in from what he's posted on Twitter and, of course, on Instagram, it looks like he really, really enjoyed himself. Again, we're in his top 4, all right? And he's going to be committing here soon. I believe it's May 16th, I believe. So let's keep track there. But we're in a really, really good spot to land that young man. Again, he's committing less than 2 weeks away here. KJ Edwards, right? Huge piece that could be to this 2026 puzzle if possible, right? One of the best running backs in the country. We spoke on him as well. You guys saw his tape, saw how explosive he is, how dominant he can be at the running back position. Of course, it looks like he had a great time as well too, right? He was able to meet Coach Marshall Falk, meet all the coaches, right? And just see how he would fit in this program moving forward. And obviously we got 2 of the best, running back coaches that you can have, around you, right? That can help develop you and turn your game to the next level. So, I love KJ Edwards' game. I love what he could bring to this Colorado football program. And of course, we're looking to run the football even more. And, you get a guy like KJ Edwards, your running game in the future would definitely, to really stand out. So I'm gonna keep track of progress with KJ Edwards as well. Same thing with Jaylen Lot, the very explosive athlete, right? Plays corner and plays wide receiver. Really solid at wide receiver. We're solid at both, honestly. I mentioned him as well in the last video, how I believe that he can play both sides of the ball. I believe he's that talented that if he really wanted to, I think he could play on both sides of the ball at the next level. Of course, we mentioned how he came from a super athletic family as well, right? Mom and dad were athletes at the University of Texas, sister athlete at UNLV. So coming from an extremely athletic family, right? We already know Texas is going to definitely be in the running for this young man here, especially being a legacy, right? So we'll see exactly what it transpired there, but it seems like from his, visits and from his pictures and everything that he posted, it looks like he had a good time as well too. Last but certainly not least here, right? Felix Olojo, the top ranked prospect on campus, right? The 5-star that we had. Of course, we're gonna have to battle the likes of Ohio State, Texas, and others, right? But he did enjoy spending his time in Boulder, Colorado. Of course, being around campus, meeting with Coach Prime, it looks like he did have a great time as well too. And of course, this is the best offensive tackle in the country, right? And we have swung and connected on the best offensive tackle in the country before. We've already hit a home run on that, right? So it's not impossible for us to do that again, right? Nothing is impossible with Coach Prime and this Colorado football program. Let's see exactly what will transpire with that young man there. But just want to bring you guys, right, another phenomenal update. I will say I did talk to one of these guys. I'm not going to mention who it was, but I did speak to one of these guys since their visit, and they had a great time. And it's going to be fun to see what happens next, man. But not to keep it long. Just want to bring you guys another phenomenal update. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, dog. Bird's eye view, man.